Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Apparently, there are so many angry, bitter, jealous women who come over here on my channel that y'all just want my husband to leave me so bad. Y'all just want my husband to lose his job so bad. Or you want some kind of trauma to come for me so bad. It's laughable. It is laughable. We're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about Jamie Thompson of Married at First Sight, filed for divorce. And we're going to talk about Maurice abusing his wife. Love and Marriage, Huntsville. I want to thank you for your love and your support. Thank you so much for those of you who are picking up 23 types of guys you might meet. I just got an alert that sold 2 more copies just now. I appreciate it. Thank for those of you who are picking up all of my books. Thank you for your love and support. Those of you who signed up for my husband profile. It begins this Saturday, July 8th. This is your time to sign up. This is it. This is it this year. From any courses I'm having. I might have day courses here or there, but after this NaNoWriMo begins, it's writing season, and I have stuff I need to get out, get on paper. My editors are on me. I need to write smaller books so I can get them out faster, because if I don't write, they don't get paid. So I need to get some writing done. I love you. I thank you so much for your love and support. We have crossed over 27,000 remnant cousin. I absolutely love you. I adore you. Thank you so much for your love and your support. I really, really do appreciate you. All right. So I have haters on YouTube, and it's fine. I don't mind, because in everything there you're going to have people who show you love and support. And then there's going to be times when a lot of people hate on you. So, I talk about marriage shows, Married at First Sight, dating, Ready to Love. And I've always been, as long as I've been on YouTube, I started YouTube because of my reviews of Married at First Sight on the Facebook group. And the girls was like, girl, you have got to put your stuff on YouTube. Of course, all of my books, most of my books revolves around marriage and dating. And I basically use situations that's out there so that we can learn lessons from them, so that women who are dating for marriage, we can choose better husbands, because the husband you choose will determine the rest of your life. So I posted in my community tab this few days ago about this. This is one of the screenshots from my husband profile course. Okay, this is one of the slides. So I teach from my slides. So you get the ebook for free, you get the print book, and then you have the slides. And then it says, when I was getting married, those old angry bitter mothers in the church tried to talk me out of it. They talked about how marriage is not all that is cracked up to be. They talked about how marriage is a struggle and not cookies and cream. I just shook my head, because none of their husbands were born again. Those miserable and unhappy wives came to church alone. We only saw any of their husbands when it was time for the church to bury them. Then let me pull this up. I was getting Facebook alerts. Then someone posted on Facebook this, and I thought I shared it, but apparently I didn't share it. Let's run on over to Facebook. Stop sharing. Share this. This was absolutely funny. Shout out to Jonathan Bower. He says, I know y'all love y'all old church mothers, but none of their husbands were saved. Okay, none of their husbands were saved. Let me click on it and see what I said. I commented and I told him, please make this public so I can share it. I said, where is it? Okay, there we go. Nope, that's not the one. Where is it? He posts a lot. Jonathan posts a lot. But I basically said exactly that's why I never listened to any of them. And basically, none of them could tell me anything when I was choosing my husband because y'all getting a treat of his page this morning. Okay, I can't find it. Because a lot of the old church mothers that were trying to teach us, their husbands were not saved. Okay, a lot of them had shotgun weddings. Okay, I found it. A lot of them had shotgun weddings. It says I know a lot of y'all old church mothers did it. So I commented and I said on his page. Oh, I said not one. Not one, and I said make it public. None of these women were saved. So when I was getting married and I brought this outsider and I didn't want the church bombs, it was held to pay. As a matter of fact, the church that I spent a lot of my years in after my father passed, not one of them came to my wedding. I gave out 25 invitations, 25, 30. Not one came to my wedding. Why? Because I wasn't going to marry one of the bums in the church or one of their broke, busted, and disgusting sons. Okay. So in response to that, I posted this. And apparently this got some church woman upset. And I had to block this person. I had just woke up. I was like, not today. I'm not about to deal with this. So basically, she basically said, oh, you need to be humble. You can become one of those miserable, unhappy women. I would love to see what happened if your husband lose his job or he can't go to work or nothing like that. See, I just didn't feel like dealing with that last night when I woke up from my beauty nap that I wanted more nap from, because a lot of the women that come over here that's angry at my content, all they know is struggle. Like and you know what it is too? I get triggered every time one of them because it reminds me of the witch. Y'all know the witch is, if y'all been following me, the witch. Who said, I wonder if something happened, I would hate for something to happen to her marriage because that's all she got. So this witch is praying for something to happen to my marriage, to my husband, to my family, because y'all are just so angry and bitter and resentful. You don't have biblical knowledge, because the Bible says, let the older woman teach the younger one, right? So when I say stuff like these angry, bitter, they came to church alone, but they were trying to teach me how to get a good husband when your husband ain't even saved. We don't see none of your husband until they die and the church is burying them and you're praying, trying to get them in heaven. I guess it triggered some of the dust bunnies. But let me just speak to what y'all want to happen. First of all, I'm wearing my favorite shirt that my husband bought me. This is walking in God's favor. There is something that I have on my life that all my haters don't have, and that's the favor of God. Baby, I am still reaping my grandmother's and my mama's favor. I'm going to tell y'all about that one day. But let me say this. Y'all that's praying for something to happen to my marriage or my husband because you want to see me fall on my face, me hungry, me homeless, my kids hungry, it's never going to happen, boo-boo. It is never going to happen. You know why? Because when I was 3 and 4, my grandmother picked me up, put me on the bed, and taught me about money. You know why you want my husband to lose his job and thinking that because he loses his job, something's going to happen? Because you're broke, busted, and disgusted. You're ghetto and you're hood. You have no knowledge of money or finances. You live paycheck to paycheck. And if anything happened to you, you gonna be broke, busted, and disgusted and in the homeless shelter line. Because that's all you know. So you think that's gonna happen to me. So you don't have the wisdom or the skill. Dating is about data, how to skillfully gather data so that you might make an informed decision. See, boo boo, you don't have the skill to ask for a man's W 2 and how much you're making, his credit report, and his investments, his retirement plan, and his savings. And, sir, you want to get married. You want to be a husband. So show me that you have been preparing yourself. See, all you know, ma'am, are bums, Dusties, Pookies, Ray Rays, and Tyrones. You ain't never met a man who has prepared himself to be a husband, to be a provider, protector, and professor of love. Boo boo, you don't know what a husband, a Psalm 23 husband is. You don't know what a shepherd husband is. That's why you think if my husband loses his job that I'm going to be hungry and fall on my face and me and my kids are going to be hungry. That's why you think if something happened to my husband, we're not going to have anything, because all you know is struggle. You can't miss a paycheck. So hold your breath, and maybe just one day, if you hold your breath long enough, you'll fall off the face of this earth. Keep on holding your breath. Let me explain something to you. I didn't choose a Dusty as a husband. I didn't choose a Pookie, Rere, or a Tyrone as a husband. I didn't choose a man that lived paycheck to paycheck as a husband. I chose a man who prepared himself to be a husband. I chose a man that, living or alive, baby, he's going to take care of us. I chose a man that even if he loses his job, baby, we're working on almost a year's worth of emergency fund. I chose a husband who have investments and savings, emergency funds. I chose a husband who has a headhunter who get calls for job every day. I chose a husband who just turned down a position that would pay him twice what he's making now. Why? Because he wants to be here for our son who's going to a STEM program for the summer. I chose a husband that even if he loses his job, baby, we're not going to miss a beat. I chose a husband who had assets. I chose a husband that, God forbid, if he transitioned before me, I'm going to cry. I'm going to fall out in the spirit. I'm going to be begging and asking y'all to pray for me. And I'll probably take a year of YouTube. But boo-boo, even if he's not here and he's in heaven with sweet Jesus, baby, he's still going to be providing for us, even in the grave. I chose a husband that even if we don't work out, boo-boo, he moves out. He pays for this, still pay our bills. We keep the house. He moves out. I chose a husband that if anything happened to us, we have assets. Baby, this house that he bought that he almost paid for in 10 years is almost 4 times what he paid for it. Boo-boo! I chose a husband who's a man of God, who is a tither, who's a giver, who plants seeds, first fruits. And if all else fail, baby, I've been investing since I was in my 20s. Baby, I have assets too. Huh? Boo-boo. And if all else fail, baby, I have a father. My daddy got about 6 houses left. We could sell one of those. And if all of that fail, baby, I've been tithing since I was 17 years old. Do you know how much harvest is out there for me? Huh? Malachi says, if you bring all your tithes and offering into the storehouse, I will open up a window and pour you out a blessing, one blessing, that you will not have room enough to receive. You see, baby, if anything happens to my husband, I still have 10 wonderful, happy, fulfilling, good years of memories. Every day he tells me he loves me. Every day He tells me I'm his gift. Every day he tells me, you're beautiful. I have on some booty shorts. He just complimented me on my way coming downstairs. I was shout, but I don't want y'all to see all the brown sugar. So you were sitting waiting for something to happen to my husband. But the Bible says, I've never seen the righteous forsaken or their seed begging for bread. So keep on holding your breath and hoping that if something happened to my husband, I'm going to be begging for bread. You will never see it. It will never happen. So you might as well move along, because the misfortunes that you want to see come to me because you're jealous and angry and bitter, it will never happen. Because regardless of what happened to Michael Thompson Sr., me and these children, we're going to be taken care of. You know why? Because that's the man I married. And that's not even talking about what I got. Because see, I don't got to talk about what I got, because I have a husband who provides, professes his love, and protect. Living or dead, my husband will still provide for us. Can you say the same thing? How many months of emergency funds you got? You're ready for retirement? Show us your bank account. We know you ain't got nothing. That's why you think my husband loses his job, we're going to fall flat on our face. Baby, we're working on a year's worth of emergency fund. Can you imagine a year of emergency fund just sitting in the bank waiting for something? I was just telling my husband, we got to put some of that money in our investment account. Now, the reason why I've been able to make as many videos as I used to, because I'm busy rebalancing our investments account. You should probably go look that word up, because you don't know what that means. But anyways, keep on holding your breath, baby. Keep on holding your breath. The misfortune you want to see, you will never see it. I'm 45 years old. You think at 45 years old, I'm going to fall flat on my face? Yeah, you would think that, because you're broke. You live paycheck to paycheck, so you would think that. Both. Be gone. So, Jamie, moving along to Married at First Sight. Swallow that, boo. Swallow it. Swallow. Let it choke you. What's her name say? So Jamie of Married at First Sight. Whoo! I think I can hear it in my spirit. Woo, cousin Janice, give me a minute to take that. Take it in, girl. Take it in. And I'm not, my remnants, y'all know I'm not talking to y'all. Okay? Yeah, but you have to. The Bible says, go ahead and sit on down in that thing, baby. The Bible says, Jesus says to the disciples, let the wheat and tares grow together. So I have about 99.99% of wheat over here, but then there's that 1% tare. That's the devil. Those are the demons that are over here. That's in their feelings. So I know. That's why a lot of things I laugh at. As a matter of fact, I have a screenshot of somebody said that my husband's not my baby's father. And a lot of this stuff is funny, because I'm like, Lord Jesus, that's not your baby daddy. Oh my Lord, the husband profile begins July 8th. Okay, y'all, come on, girl. Sit on up. Let's get on over to Jamie. So Jamie, of Ready to Married at First Sight, has filed for divorce. Let's read what Jamie says. Jamie says, that's Jamie. He's lost a lot of weight. He was on Married at First Sight. I forgot what season. Jamie says, last Friday was a really tough day for me. I did something I thought I would never have to do. Here I am sitting in front of the Denver courthouse. After months of deliberation with Beth, we were just unable to find common ground. I had really hoped to resolve this, but it feels like we have reached the point of no return. So I made the decision to go ahead and file for divorce for the sake of my own mental health and well being. That's hard. It was one of the hardest things I've had to do in a very long time. It saddens me a lot to be at this point. I was never sure if I would get married, but I sure didn't want to get divorced either, even if it was an arranged marriage courtesy of Hollywood. Thank you so much to everyone that has reached out to me and shown me love and support. I am truly grateful for you all. I have really exciting life changes coming my way. Stay tuned for Jamie 2.0. So it's sad, but we kind of knew this was coming. I really like Jamie. Of all the men that has been unmarried at first sight, if I was into vanilla, Jamie could have gotten my number. When I hear him talk, I was like, oh, I like Jamie. Go back and watch my reviews. I really do like Jamie if I like vanilla. But I don't like vanilla. I like chocolate, strawberry. Well, not strawberry, but caramel, butterscotch, cinnamon, brown sugar. Them sweet coffee. I like them flavor. But if I like vanilla, oh, he could have got my number. Now, Jamie, we kind of knew this was coming. You and Beth, you're toxic together. What bugs me about Jamie is Jamie had a very nice girl that he was engaged to or was going to get engaged to or something, and then he left to come on the show. Granted, I do believe that men have to want to marry you to protect you and profess and provide for you. So I'm going to cut him give him a little bit of grace there because he walked away from a woman that being together and they should have been getting married. I think Jamie needed some fire in his life, and Beth had a whole lot of fire. Let me find Beth and Jamie. Beth had a whole lot of fire. Okay. But Beth needs counseling, and Beth is gonna be all right. Beth family has money, and she's gonna be all right. Beth is not gonna be needing for nothing, but Beth needs less. Beth and Jamie, and I like Beth. I like her. She crazy. Okay, Beth is crazy. She's a nut. Okay, but I like her, and I like Jamie. But we all kind of knew it was only a moment of time before this happened. They've been separated. She's dragging him all over to the country to go be with her father, her family in Denver, wherever she's from. Well, I'm not gonna say I'm glad to see them divorced. We just kind of knew it was gonna happen. We were just waiting for it to happen. So, I think they both need to go get some counseling. Beth needs to go get some counseling because she's crazy and she's a nut and she's toxic. And Jamie needs to go get some counseling to figure out, why do you want toxic women in your life? And it's not healthy for neither of them. I think they're both going to be okay. I think Jamie is a good guy that he's going to get snatched up really quick, just like Eric. Eric is engaged to be married, girl. He found him a nice young girl. He's engaged and they're going to be getting married soon. Jamie's another one, okay? And as a matter of fact, Jamie and Eric, I thought to myself that these were two nice white guys that they could have tried to hook two black girls up with, because they were established men and they were able to protect and provide. Granted, they're probably not into black girls, but I just thought, when I see these guys, I'm like, these are two good guys, and why can't Married at First Sight find good black men like Jamie and Eric to hook black women up? So we wish them the best. I think they're both going to be okay. I think Beth, I don't know, Beth is probably not going to get her another Jamie, because she's so toxic and crazy. But Jamie will definitely get her a wife. I won't be surprised if Jamie is married by next year, or I don't know how long divorce takes to happen in Denver, wherever he is. But Jamie will be. I see Jamie being married in the next 2 years, and he will be having a lot of kids. I just see that for them. Okay, so many of you emailed me about Maurice and Kimmy, and I did a little short. I'm trying to do more videos together because I get so many emails. And I just want to let me take this down because someone emailed, a wife emailed this to me. And let me just go ahead and read her email. Shout out to Chloe. Chloe had sent this to me first. Shout out to Chloe. And cousin, sister Alyssa had also sent this to me. But a wife also messaged me and she said, Cousin Janice, do you watch Love and Marriage Huntsville? I will love your input about these married couples. I'm 45 years old and have been married for 10 years. Do you offer support for women to date and find their husbands? But do you offer support for married women to stay married? I've been following your YouTube channel since the beginning and love your content. So I messaged her back that, hello, no, I don't watch this show, but several cousins have sent this to me. And I'm about to do a video. I am going to create a group for married women. I get so many wives emailing me about support. Let me create the group now. So I go over and create the group on Facebook. I do have a group on my mentoring platform that I need to kind of put it on Facebook, and it's going to be a supports group, y'all, because I do support a lot of women and I get a lot of emails and messages and stuff. And so my dating content, my mentoring, this is what I want to spend my time doing. As a matter of fact, one of my dividends investment account, I named it Right All Day. Okay. So I named it Right All Day. So I want to be able to do this all day. So it's going to be a supports group. Okay. So so I did a shorts on this yesterday, and y'all know how I feel about this, right? So let's go ahead and play the video, and I'm going to talk through it. Instagram. It says, Hollywood Unlocked, man explains why he forces his wife to have sex with him even though she's suffering from cancer. So if you didn't see the video,
that much of a sexual person to where, despite what she's going through right now, you still feel like there's a happy medium in terms of her pleasuring you.
There's a difference between wants and needs, all right? And I'm a person who actually needs sex, not a person who wants sex. Now, at times I want it, but I actually need it. Life throws us curveballs like what we're going through right now. What Kimmy is doing is admirable as a spouse, to roll over.
So let me just stop right there. So he says that, you know, some people want sex, some people need sex. I think in marriage, sex is a need, because that's one of the main reasons why you get married, because it is a need and sometimes it is a want. But in marriage, sex is a need. Marriage is, let me just remind y'all, a picture for the Christian marriage is a picture of Christ and the church, right? So the husband is representative of Christ and the church, the wife is representative of church. So that's why it's a picture. Husband and wife is living out Christ and the church. The same way Christ needs to be worshiped and praised is the same way both husband and wife need sex. Okay, it's not, it binds the marriage together. Therefore, let a man leave his mother and father and cleave. This is the only way you cleave to your wife. After you go on down to the church, take holy vows before God and man. On the wedding night, husband and wife, you cleave. Okay? Sex represents worship. When a husband and wife cleave, come together and minister to each other, it represents the worship that happens between Christ and the church. The church worships the Lord Jesus Christ. Okay? So that's what sex is in marriage. It's worship. So it's a need in marriage. Okay? Let's go back to the abuser.
And suffer through it, fakes it all for me.
So he says what she's doing is rolling over, suffering through it, fakes it for me. Husbands, love your wives. Let me pull it up. As your own body. Let's go on over here and read it. Let's read. Because a lot of y'all like to say submit, but y'all don't even read the scripture. Let's read it. Ephesians 5:23. 25, 23. Husbands, love your wives as Christ loved the church. Let's make sure you're seeing it. Husband loves your wife, love your wives, just as Christ loved the church and gave himself for her, that he might sanctify her and cleanse her with the washing of the water of the word, that he might present her to himself a glorious church, not having spot or wrinkle or any such thing, but she should be holy and without blemish. So husbands ought to love their wives as their own bodies. He who loves his wife loves himself. For no one ever hated his own flesh, but nourishes it and cherishes it, just as the Lord does the church. For we are members of his body, of his flesh, and of his bones. For this reason, a man shall leave his father and mother and be joined to his wife, and the two shall become one flesh. This is a great mystery, but I speak concerning Christ and the church. Nevertheless, let each of you in particular so love his own wife as himself, and let the wife see that she respects her husband. Nothing there says a husband should abuse his wife. It says a husband should love her as his own body. So you want to tell me your wife is sick on her deathbed, but you have a need. And instead of you disciplining the little piece of 3 inches between your legs or whatever, what they say the average is 3. I don't know what women do with 3 inches. I'm just saying. I don't know what y'all do with it, but anyway. Discipline the little piece of sausage between your legs and pray for your wife and encourage her. You want her to roll over, suffer, so that you can be happy. Husband, love your wives as Christ of the church. These are the things you talk about before you get married. Because in Marriage Counselor, Pastor and First Lady explained that when your wife is sick, is not the time for you to be trying to get your needs met. So that means if they had a baby and you're not supposed to be intimate for 6 weeks, you can't control yourself, sir. Your wife is on cancer treatment, fighting for her life. She's suffering through cancer and cancer treatment. But in addition to suffering through cancer and cancer treatment, she needs to suffer, roll over, and suffer to meet your needs. But you know what everybody is saying? They don't feel sorry for Kimmy, child. I don't watch the show for these particular reasons. because I don't really like to talk about, I don't like to have perpetual conversation about people's marriage. When stuff like this happen, y'all tag me, I'll talk about it. But to watch it and talk about it every week is a little different for me. And it's different from Married at First Sight, because Married at First Sight, they're married for 8 weeks and then they're gone. This is why you don't hear me talk about them, right? You can't find my videos of me talking about couples of Married at First Sight, with the exception of they're getting a divorce, they have a baby, they bought a house, they broke up. Anything outside of that, I don't even follow them on YouTube, on Instagram. I don't follow nobody. I think I might follow Merla, but the couples, you will not find me following them, because I don't want to see and I don't want to say, because marriage is a covenant. So ladies that's dating for marriage, you need to have that sick conversation about when you are sick. All he cares about is getting his needs met instead of trying to care for you. I just can't imagine. Do y'all ever, wives, y'all ever had gas ass? I've had gas ass. You know what gas ass is? Gas in your ass. That thing hurts. I can't even walk up the stairs. Can you imagine? Big Mike, tap the booty. And I said, babe, I ain't feeling well. And he said, well, you're going to have to suffer through. I can't imagine. Because gas, it's like gas in your ass. That you just have to wait for it to. It's like having what's that thing people get in their legs? You know that thing you get in your Charlie horse. Is that what it's called? And your leg is like, oh, you can't move. Gas ass. And imagine a husband, you're not feeling well, husband, saying to the wife, well, you're just going to have to suffer through it. I've been married 10 years, and not to be putting my business out there, but I've turned my husband down about 2 times. And it's always because something is wrong. Gas ass, or I've had a headache. But you can't tell me. And of course, 6 weeks when I had little Michael. My husband was too busy encouraging me to nurse the baby and holding the baby and to be thinking about screwing. And no, he wasn't screwing nobody else, because he was home with me. I know some dusty. It's Sunday, Lord. It's Sunday. No, my husband was on maternity leave. Yeah, I married a man who gets maternity leave too. You can't love your wife, but you want your wife to suffer. Let's get on back to this foolishness. That's abuse. That's not love. That's abuse.
Moment is something that she completely didn't desire, right? So I look at it as her.
That much of a sexual person to where.
I don't even want to hear this mess no more, child. Something that she doesn't desire. And your wife is on her deathbed. And she got to suffer through it. Let me play it again so y'all could hear, just in case y'all didn't hear it, because I was talking through it.
Now, you still feel like there's a happy medium in terms of her pleasuring you.
There's a difference between wants and needs, all right? And I'm a person who actually needs sex, not a person who wants sex. Now, at times I want it, but I actually need it. Life throws us curveballs like what we're going through right now. What Kimmy is doing is admirable as a spouse. To roll over and suffer through it, fakes it all for me. Because at that moment, it's something that she completely didn't desire, right? So I look at it as her.
That much of a sexual person to where, despite what she's going
through. The people in the comments say, well, child. But first of all, I don't like their dynamics. I think she's too old, and I've said this before. Oh, no, she's too old for him. Kimmy is too old for Maurice. She shouldn't have married him. Anyways, let me know what you think. I think that's it. I wanted to do just those 3 conversations. My husband profile course begins July 8th. Sign up. I am doing one-on-ones as we speak. 23 types of guys available on Amazon. Be sure to check that out. I absolutely love you and adore you. I will be in the comments today, so I'll be responding to some comments today. Love you. Bye.